Hey guys, Ryan here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventure Shockwave. Now, went to Walmart, picked this guy up. I'll explain more how I got this figure in a moment when I'm up close and reviewing the figure. But, when I take a look at the packaging, very nice packaging. Never seen a Transformer figure with a bright and appealing packaging. Usually, like the Studio Series, they have red and they're black and blue and stuff like that. I mean, they look cool and they get me to buy figures. I only bought like one Studio Series. That was like Starscream. I did that review like a really long time ago. And like the other figures are like gray and they're black. And they just don't really appeal to me. I mean, the figures inside, they look cool and all, but they don't really seem to attract my interest. For this guy, this packaging gets like a 10 out of 10 for packaging. I usually don't do 10 out of 10 packaging. This is just a one thing. But, very colorful packaging. It has the purple and the yellow. And this feels like a Transformer packaging to me, instead of the really dark and vibrant and kind of like almost serious packaging. But you gotta remember, Transformers, they're cheesy as hell, okay? That they ain't gonna have, they don't have to be really serious. I mean, there is serious parts in like some TV shows and movies and all that, but this feels like a very cheery kind of thing. So let's get more close into the depth of the packaging. So you got the logo for Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures. Never watched the show, and I don't have any interest in it. I literally picked this figure up because of Shockwave, and Shockwave is like one of my favorite Decepticons. Other than Soundwave. Soundwave beats Shockwave out of the park. Shockwave can get out of the hell of my house, but I just like Shockwave, so whatever. Transformers here, you got Hasbro, and then you can also see that he combines. He has a, I'll get more in depth in that, but he has a piece of a, Autobot here. Build a figure, Macadam. So yeah, on the back here you got Macadam in his complete form or whatever. And on the side here you got Megatron, Starscream, and Shockwave. That's just pretty cool. Then on the side here you got Shockwave, and then you got him in his robot mode, and he transforms into 20 steps. Transforms into like a walking tank or something like that. And he's got a shock blast. It's pretty cool. Then he's got all the figures in the line. You got Optimus, Megatron, Shockwave, Bumblebee, Hot Rod, Grimlock, RC, and Howling Thunder. And then you got all this other logo, and then you got that stuff. And then it's up here says Shockwave and his function Twisted Scientist. Wow. Okay then. It's a Decepticon logo. Very colorful packaging. And he's also got a close-up of Cybertron there. Very nice. I do not want to wreck this packaging, so I'm going to be careful not to throw it on the ground, so. Okay, I think we're good. Let's go on to the figure. Move on to the figure. Shockwave here. He's a small figure. He's not that big. Do size comparisons in a moment. But, I really like Shockwave's design. I really like his design. His design really captures 80s to me. I never watched G1 at all. I have seen some clips and all that, but I've never seen G1. I really want to see the Transformers, the movie, not the Michael Bay movies, the G1 version. And this figure just looks so 80s to me. I never grew up with nostalgia, but it just feels like nostalgic to me, if that kind of makes sense to you. And I also really like Shockwave's colors. He has purple and pink. These two colors just like mix together, like the Hunger figure that I did before. The colors make this figure pop and makes it more interesting for me to pick this guy up. This is my first Shockwave figure. I've never had another Shockwave figure in my entire life, so this is the first one. Kind of new to the whole Shockwave now. So let's get into the details. So close up here, you got the gun chest that he had in the original toy and the show itself. This used to be like the gun, the front of the gun or whatever. So that was like his gun chest or whatever. He has a very small very nicely sculpted Decepticon symbol. And that's pretty cool. And he also has, like, silver in there, so that, it kind of makes it also like that. And it kind of makes it like he's cracked a little bit. Like, his armor is cracked, and that's his secondary skin or whatever. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, and his face, let's get a close-up on that face. I really like Shockwave's head and his face. His face is very, like, it's very simple, but it packs so much character. And it just has one eye, and I think that's another eye, and it kind of makes him look a little bit angry to me. So yeah, that's kind of like an eyebrow. Don't know what that's all about, because I haven't seen the show. On the back here, got the pink translucent hose. That's pretty cool. If I hold it up to the light, it clears, so that's pretty cool. There's the cannon, get more into, and also he kind of has, like, the backpack, like the original had. So yeah, he does have some accessories. Like he has this gun here. Usually, this would be the only accessory for a deluxe class figure. Now, if you don't know the whole class thing of, like, whole Transformers, they're basically, like, different sizes. This is, like, the smallest one. Well, not the smallest one. The Voyager are, like, the small ones. The Deluxe are, like, the medium ones. And, like, the Superior, whatever they have now, they're the bigger ones. This would be the only accessory this would be ever come with a figure this size. But he has more accessories. So, close up on the detail. Love the pink. And it also kind of makes it, like, pop again with the whole wasteland of gray. And you got the kind of gunmetal gray for this part here. And yeah. So yeah, and there's the little thing here that he can hold on. So he can plug it to his hand like that. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much the gun. You got the silver parts up here. But he also has laser effect parts. Now, laser effect parts are the coolest thing that a Transformers figure have. It makes them more decent for like stop motions and also photos to make it more cooler. And this wouldn't, like, I was baffled when I put him out of the box. I thought he only had a gun. But when I pulled him out of the box, he had laser effect parts, and I was like, what? What? Now, there's two parts here. They can fold together. I'll get that to more later. But usually, laser effect parts don't usually come with size figures. They usually come with, like, Masterpiece figures or, like, Studio Series figures. Not, like, Hasbro figures. And not usually Takara is the one with effect parts. I've never seen a Hasbro figure. This is Hasbro, by the way. And this is probably one of the coolest Hasbro figures I have. He has laser effect parts, which is awesome. And he can combine with these laser effect parts for many different things. One, you can plug it into this gun right here. So you got the little beam thing here. And then, boom, he can have, like, gun coming out. And then for this part, you can plug it into here and make it look like it's exploding. So you can plug it in here so, like, the things are going backwards. Or you could take it off and put it like that. So, it is it's perfectly up to you which one you decide. Personally, I like it to do this one because it fits way better. And it also looks a little bit cooler. And also, this laser effect parts can plug into his cannon. He has a little tab there, and there's a little hole there. He can plug it in to his cannon like that. So that's pretty cool. So he's, like, shooting at you. And you can also do this. Oops. You can also do this. You can't do it with this, though. You can't do it with this. You can actually plug it in to his eye. No idea why this is for. Maybe it's like somebody uses his gun and he shoots him right in the face and then he dies or something. Or is it just part of the show? If you've seen Transformers, Bumblebee, Cybertron Adventures, whatever it's called, let me know in the comments why he has a effect part coming out of his eye. Because it is made for it. Like, it's not just, like, a random thing. Like, it's actually made. So, and it also kind of reminds me of Lockdown from Transformers Age of Extinction, where he has his gun face and he shoots it out. So that's, I don't know what that's about. He also has some weapon storage for this. There's no weapon storage for this, so you can just forget about that for now. But he, as I said before, he can hold it in his hand, like that. Pretty cool. He can store it on his cannon, like that, so he has a double cannon. So, like you could put in, like, oh man, that kind of sucks. The hole isn't big enough for the little thing to plug it in. So, it would be really cool if you could, like, plug 2 in, but whatever. That's whatever. And then you could also plug it in right on the back here. So you can make it pointing down, or you can make it pointing up. So on the back here, it doesn't look too bad at all, but I like to do it like this so I can get, like, some action poses. So I can put his hand right behind here and make it look like he's grabbing it where he's, like, trying to defend off some Autobots. Okay, so, just one more thing before I get to the articulation. I like how it captures G1. Not just to the face, not just to the chest, but the blocky limbs. If you are familiar with G1, they have blocky limbs. Like, they're whatever that's called. I forgot what part of the arm that is, but it's blocky, and the bottom of the knee is blocky. And his whole body is blocky, except for his head. And his head is also blocky. His shoulder, his cannon, why do you keep saying shoulder? His cannon here is blocky. Feels G1 through and through, 10 out of 10. So let's get out to the articulation. For articulation, he has a rotation at the shoulder here. He's got a in and out. It's on a ball joint, so you can see the ball joint there. There's a bend at the elbow, and there's also a swivel. And then for the hands here, you wouldn't think that there's any articulation in the hand. It just looks like it's solid. But no, you can flip this out. That's for the transformation. There's a hinge joint here, so I can, like, point down. That's more for the transformation. But there is a swivel. So you can, like, make it like that and do some more poses. I wanna take his cannon off for a second so I can warn you guys if you're gonna buy this figure. He has no swivel. He just has a hinge joint on this thing, so no swivel. So don't try to make it force the swivel. Plug it into that. Okay. And also, if you're wondering how I plug it in, there's a little tab there, and there's a hole in his hand, so it just fits on clearly like that, so it kind of makes it look like it's natural. For the legs here, there is like skirts, so he can do like a beautiful spread, and then he can kick far, he can kick that far and move back that far. There's a bend at the knee, a really far bend at the knee. And there's also a pivot, but the pivot goes the wrong way. The pivot's supposed to go that way, and this pivot, it goes the wrong way as well. So, don't know what that's about. So, yeah, let's get off for the transformation now, shall we? For transformation, you want to do this. You want to remove his cannon. You want to remove his cannon. Flip this down. Untab that. This will be relevant later. By the way, I don't know if this counts as an accessory. I mean, these things count an accessory. So, I don't know if this is an accessory. Whatever, who cares? So, you want to untab that back. Leave that back untabbed for now. For the hands here, you want to flip this down. Flip out these little arms here. And then you want to fold down the hand. Plug into that. Fold that down, and then you want to swivel it where these little pink bits are facing forward. Do the exact same thing on the other. Remember not to swivel that wrist on the left. And for this, you want to just leave it like this, but just flip these forward so the hollow bits are like that. That's basically what you want to do. There's nothing to do on the legs. For on the back here, well, actually on the front, you want to untab the waist. You want to move back his antenna so you don't break that. Also, his antenna is on a hinge joint. Forgot to mention that. So just move that back. And then it is loose. It is loose. So these bits here can plug in. And they can hold the chest in place. Flip this down. Then you want to rotate the thing where these tabs are like that. And then you want to bend that forward like that. Like that. And then you want to go, and then you want to split these things apart. We are not done yet. And then you want to take back his cannon. There's a certain way. So this part right here slits into that. If you could see that there. Oh, hold on. Plugs that right in there soft. Make sure that the little bulge part is sticking out. Then you're going to leave that there. You want to tangle this wire this way. It is kind of hard. I wish it was like on a bendy wire or something, whatever. Then there's a little tab here, and then that little tab here. That just sits. It's not the solidest connection in the entire world. But yeah. Okay then. I think we're done with the transformation. Force vehicle mode, if you can even call that a vehicle. The walking tank mode. Now, this is part of the show. It's not just a random mode that Hasbro decided to. This is part of the show. I've seen some clips and all that. So, this thing looks really goofy as hell. And in the show, it's really goofy. But it's also kind of disturbing when it's crawling around in the roofs and stuff. It just makes you kind of feel unsettling. Even for Shockwave, that's kind of weird. So, it doesn't make any sense at all. And also, there's his head poking out. So, he's just doing a funny pose, basically. But you can't take his gun here. And there is, like, tabs. There's 2 tabs here, so you can tab it here or there. I usually like to tab it there. Or, you can do this. So then he's got the double cannon thing there. And you can take these effect parts, plug into the cannon, plug it into there. But there's also this weird thing where you can, these little tabs here, you can plug it in. I don't know if this was intentional. I mean, it's like the eye, it fits perfectly well. So it's like shooting there. And there's also these little tabs here, and they just... Oh, hold on, it's not fully plugged in. And then it plugs onto that. No idea, I'm pretty sure I'm stretching it way too far with the eye and the bits here. But this vehicle, it does have some articulation. The front feet can move up and down. There is a swivel, and I guess that's like a hinge joint. That's a hinge joint, there's no pivot. And the exact same thing from the back legs. But there's also a hinge joint here. There's a hinge joint here on the back so he can aim up and down so he can shoot himself in the head. That's awesome. Also, it's because of that cable, it doesn't fit in so well. The cannon kind of moves, like, see how it's moving forward? It's supposed to stay like that, but it can't fully stay like that. And I'm also afraid that... Take this off. I'm also afraid that this wire is going to break over time. So be careful of that. So yeah, it's not the it's not the greatest vehicle in the world, but it's a pretty cool looking vehicle. It's a walking tank. I wish he could, like, transform into his original gun. That would be pretty cool. But for right now, gonna have to deal with this walking tank. Also, by the way, this figure costs $30. It's not even that big compared to me. Like, it's not that big. There's a bigger one of this. I saw this one. It's the exact same price. I don't understand why this figure was so expensive. But I decided to get him anyway, because why not? Because Shockwave is awesome. So that is the end of the Shockwave review. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Bye, guys.